Hi everyone, it's Sandy with Animal Education and Rescue. How is everybody doing tonight? Tonight is our Tuesday evening live where we feature a foster animal that is available for adoption. And since this dog came in today, I thought it would be a good opportunity to educate you about dogs that come into rescue from unknown situations and what their behavior is like and so forth. I'm going to give a minute or so for people to come on board, and if somebody wouldn't mind saying hello to me so that I know you can hear me okay and that I can see your comments, that would be fabulous. I'd be very grateful. So if people could, if somebody could say hi. There we go. Hi, Caroline. Okay, got our first person saying hi. All right. Hi, Ash. And Shannon. And Lydia. Thank you for checking in, everybody. And Abby. All right. Awesome. We've got a nice little group going on here. Hi, Chuck. So I want to share information about this doggie that's right here. I'm hoping that with me just talking to her or talking to you and her thinking I'm talking to her, that she'll warm up to me and so forth. So we have, I think, enough people on that I'm going to share her story. So this dog is a female young dog, and she arrived with us this afternoon from Lake County Animal Control. And I'm going to open the cage door so you can see her better. I'm sitting on the floor in the office with her, and this gives you a first-hand look on sometimes what we deal with when we first get a dog. And I'm just going to talk about dogs tonight because obviously this dog is, it's dogs. It's a dog that we're featuring. It happens with cats as well, but let's just talk about dogs for now. And people that adopt from foster-based organizations really have, a lot of them have no idea what we go through to rehabilitate dogs and get them ready for adoption. These animals oftentimes come in quite wrecked and quite scared, and clearly you can see she's very scared. And so her story is that she was found as a stray in the Beach Park, Zion area a week ago. And she was brought to Lake County Animal Control, where she sat, where her owners had an opportunity to claim her, and nobody stepped forward saying they're missing their dog. And what makes this especially interesting, oh, is she going to come see me? That would be awesome. What makes this especially interesting is that about a month and a half ago, we took in another dog that looked just like her, and that dog was a stray in the Beach Park, Zion area, and she was very skittish or shy, more with dogs, and she was afraid to walk on leash, and she was afraid of hallways and doorways. So Lake County Animal Control asked us to take her a month and a half ago, and that dog, a Good Samaritan, had actually saw her running loose and contacted Lake County Animal Control and said that there were two dogs that looked very much alike that were running loose. Well, the two dogs, they only got one, and we got that dog. So being that this dog was found in the same area a month and a half later and looks very much like Sheba, a dog we had in our care, we are making a pretty darn educated guess that this is Sheba's sister or daughter. They are somehow related, and they came from the same house. Now you might ask, well, if she's been running loose for a month and a half, how did she survive? My guess is that her owners that had her probably were irresponsible and just let her run loose, or she kept getting loose, and so therefore, you know, she would get fed, but then she'd get loose and so forth, but they didn't care enough to claim her, nor did assuming it's the same family, contact animal control regarding Sheba, who we already found a home for. So we were really happy to hear that Sheba's sister, mom, or daughter, or whatever she is to her, is safe, and we were happy to take her. The reason why Lake County Animal Control contacted us was because, first of all, we had taken Sheba, and secondly, Lake County Animal Control typically has most of their dogs go to Orphans of the Storm Animal Shelter. But when they get a dog in that would not do well in a shelter environment like this dog, they contact rescue groups to take them. So whether they have a emotional problem, the dogs, or they have, you know, physical limitations, or Orphans of the Storm is full, then they ask us to take them. So that's why we were contacted regarding her. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, can I move your food so you can come closer to me? Come here, you want to come in my lap? She so badly, I think, wants to come over and see me, but she's scared. What I'm hoping is we'll get some volunteers that'll come here and just read a book, and maybe even read a book out loud and let her get used to voices and get her comfortable, but she's clearly very scared. She's a bigger dog. I would say she's probably 65 pounds, 70 pounds. The dog that we got before, Sheba, who we think she came with, hi baby, come here. She was heartworm positive, so we're hoping that she is not heartworm positive. Okay. Does she have a name yet? Ash wants to know. No, I have not named her. Maybe while we're doing this live, we can name her. What do you think? Let's come up with some good names. Something pretty for a pretty girl. Are you coming closer to me, sweetheart? What do you think? Are we friends? Are we friends? Come here. It's okay. It's okay. She, by the way, is very harmless. Chuck had to pick her up and carry her kind of over his shoulder to get her inside because she will not walk at all. She's just petrified. Lacey's cute. I like that, Ashley. Rosie's cute. Hi, Amanda. Freedom. I like Freedom, too. That's a nice one. Lots of good ideas. Yeah. What a good girl. Want to come see me? Come on, honey. It's okay. Come here. You want to come sit on my lap? I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. So, there, now her mouth is open and she's panting, which actually is good. That means she's relaxing a little bit. She hears the other dogs. Yeah, but she's relaxing. Her body language is relaxing a little bit. Her head is going up a little bit. Yeah, it's all good. I haven't had a chance to spend any time with her. This is the first time I've spent with her. Chuck tried to take her out earlier, and he's like, there was no way she was going to come out. And she hasn't eaten, which is not unusual. That happens sometimes when dogs are new or cats are new, as they're nervous and they don't want to eat. Kaya, I like that. That's like an old-fashioned name. Brandy, that's an interesting name. I like that too. Hey Chuck, if you're on, can you go and put Star somewhere else? Because I hear Stax is bugging her So if you could please go and get Star out of that situation, I would be very grateful. Stax barks in Star's face, and Star gets irritated and barks back. They're like children. They're like siblings that are fighting. Hopefully Chuck is on still and he got that message. She's coming closer. I'm not even going to put my hand out. Let's see what she does. Oh, sweetheart. Come on. Come on, honey. Isn't she beautiful, though, everybody? So we think she's young. Her teeth are really white. It's okay. It's okay. It really is. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. I know you want to be friends with me. Yeah, she is super pretty, isn't she? Gracie's cute. That's a nice name. Come on, sweetheart. This is, by the way, everybody who is, if those of you that have not fostered before, this is actually the best time because this is them at their worst and it only gets better. And so this is the time that I remember most with a lot of my doggies and kitties that I foster, is when they're like this and then they come out of their shell and they are happy and they are confident and they're amazing, and then they get these amazing homes. It totally makes it worth it. This is what I love about fostering, is helping animals that really need help. You know, people that rescue, that adopt dogs and say they rescued the dogs, in a sense they did rescue the dog because they took it out of the kind of foster care system or the shelter system and gave it a home. But the real true blue rescuers, the people that rescue, are the people in the front lines. Those are the animal wardens at animal control that catch the dogs, and it's the the animal rescue organizations that take in the animals. It's the foster families that foster the animals. It's the people that come to the shelters and work with the animals. I know Connie's on, and she works with a lot of cats that are stressed out and and unhappy in the shelter environment, and she spends time with them and gets them to learn to trust. And all of those things that we do to get dogs and cats to get adjusted is what gets them to the point where people want to adopt them. A dog like this, in the state of mind that she's in right now, is nearly impossible to adopt out. Who's going to want to adopt a dog like this in the state of mind she's in right now? You can't walk her. We can't get her out of the crate. She's totally stressed. She needs, people to work with her before getting adopted. So I think that's an important thing that we need to honor and acknowledge, is those people in the front lines that help these animals to come out of their shell and to get the medical care they need and get them on their feet and have them build their confidence so that then they are adoptable. And the adoptive families, they partner with us by taking in these animals, because certainly we can't keep them all, so they make great partners. But one thing I was talking to one of my adoption screeners tonight about is the fact that the adopters have to understand that the hours and hours and hours and days and months that we spend rehabilitating these animals, and the money we spend paying for all their medical expenses, that the adoption fee they pay for is a fraction of what the time and money that we've spent on the animals. And so adopters need to really understand that they're getting essentially a free dog. simply because if they had gotten the dog off the streets themselves, likely the medical expenses would have been much higher, and they would have had to pay for everything, and certainly they, who knows if they would have gotten a healthy dog or not, and the dog could have been having behavior issues and so on and so forth. So I think it's really important to honor those people and to appreciate and be grateful for the partnerships that we have with our adopters, those people that take in these animals, therefore allowing us to continue to cycle in new animals that need help. So it all works really well, and I think gratitude for all of the factors and understanding what everybody goes through to help these animals is really important. Okay, let's see. She is now sleeping. Hi, baby. Come here, honey. Can I pet you? Come here. Yeah, good girl, good girl. Yeah. Oh, look, sniff my hand. No? Yeah, honey, baby. I don't know. Maybe this crate isn't a good idea because you are deciding to hide in it. I might have to take it out. And that's another thing, is that we have to problem solve with these, difficult cases, because we have to figure out what is going to help them. And the fact that she can stay in that crate and she knows it's going to be unlikely that I'm going to go in there with her and there's not enough space, that it allows her to stay withdrawn. So we may have to eventually, if she doesn't come out of her shell and out of this cage on her own, we might have to pull her out and then literally take the crate out and hope that she won't get into all this stuff. This is where we keep a lot of supplies. It's rabbit supplies, extra dog beds. This is pet sitter's office too. So we have, a desk with all sorts of paperwork on it. And we certainly don't need a dog getting into everything. Okay, so Christy wants to know where she came from. She was a stray in Beach Park, Zion area. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like she's going to be doing a dance for us. Looks like she's going to decide to sleep. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to look back on some of the names and tell you kind of where I'm leaning. Let's see. I kind of like Kaya. I don't know if Chuck's on or not. He always likes to put in his 2 cents. I like Freedom. Rosie, we already have a Rosie, so we can't do that. Lacey's okay, but I think it's common, real common name. I like it though. Let's see. Kaya's interesting, but it could be mistaken for Kaya or mispronounced a lot. Let's see what other names we have here. Gracie's too common. It's a nice name, I like it, but it's too common, I think. Sunny's cute. I'm always up for names that have to do with summertime. Let's see if we have other names people suggested. Hope is a very common name. Lexi's very common. Kona reminds me of a boy's name, simply because my sister had a dog named Kona, and it was a boy dog. Liberty, I had a dog that I fostered for 5 years named Liberty. I think too many syllables. Charla, that's interesting. Maple, ooh, I like Maple. I'm kind of liking Maple. Sunshine, yes, Vicky. Sunshine is what's one of my most favorite names. Actually, ironically, Ginger, well, no, Sheba, who was renamed Ginger, her sister or mom or whatever she is, I was originally going to name her Sunshine. Ironically, somebody said Ginger. Well, the other dog named Sheba that we think is related to her, the new family named her Ginger. so we can't do Ginger. And they are thinking about possibly adopting her. I don't know if they will, but we'll have to see how this all plays out. So far, I'm kind of leaning maybe towards Maple. I kind of like that name. Ruby's nice, but Ruby's common. Laura can't hear me. I'm sorry, Laura. I don't know why you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me, I hope? Please let me know if you cannot hear me. Okay. Carly. That's cute. Bray is, oh good. Tony said she can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, Laura's back again. Okay. Okay, Kathy says she can hear me. Good, 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 good. Shay says she can hear. Okay, so then it must have been Laura. Okay. All right, guys. I am leaning towards, I think I'm going to go with Maple, unless I see another name I like better. But I like Maple. That's a pretty name. I like that. Orchid, that's pretty too. But I think I'm liking Maple. She kind of looks... Do you like the name Maple? Maple! You're not even going to pay attention, are you, honey? Can we say hi to each other? Come here, honey. Come here, honey. Come here. Can I pet your leg? Come on. Come on. Come on. Can you come here? Come here. Come on. Daisy's cute, but I think Daisy's too common. We've had so many Daisies. As a matter of fact, I think the very first dog that I ever rescued back in 2003, I named Daisy, and she was a lab mix, a yellow lab mix. I'll never forget her. She's probably gone by now. Aw, Patty says, Coco's on my shoulder, can hear you, and I think she remembers your voice. Hi, Coco! I love you, Coco. If you remember me, I am so flattered. Maisie's pretty, but Maisie's like crazies. Gretchen's cute. I'm still leaning towards Maple, I think. Goldie's cute. Still Maple, I think. You're not going to do much of anything, are you, kid? Yeah. 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 Can I pet you? Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Gertie, that's cute. We had a dog named Gertie we took in. She was one of the Muddy Paws dogs. There were 5 surviving Muddy Paws dogs. I don't know if you guys remember the Muddy Paws story. It was horrible. But one of the survivors I named Gertie. She got adopted, and actually her owners that adopted her many, many years ago, they stopped by the farmer's market last week and reminded me that they had adopted Gertie and that she just recently passed away and that she had a wonderful, wonderful life. So that's very cool. Petunia, we had a Petunia, Tony. I called her Toonie. She actually is in a new home. They keep in touch with us. I think they follow on Facebook. She was my love bug. She slept with me every night. I think Petunia's, that's got to be saved for my Toonie forever, I think. Autumn's cute, but it's not autumn. It's summer. So, let me just ask you guys to do me a favor. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this post, more for educational purposes, I will change the comment or like the description of the post to talk about taking in a new dog. I'll see how I can word it. But this, I think, you know, my intention with doing this live was to educate people about what it's like to take in a new rescue dog and what we have to do in order to rehabilitate them. And you could see she just arrived a few hours ago and she's totally shut down. And I'll do lives with her periodically. The next step for her is that we have to get her to trust us. Chuck and I have to get her to trust us first. And she has to be able to follow us around and be able to go in and out of the office and into the yard by herself, or with us. I mean, following us out there before we can introduce her to dogs, or at least, the dog, if she ends up having to move to the orphanage. But what we probably will do is we will probably introduce her to at least 1 or 2 dogs. My understanding is that she is really loves other dogs, and so maybe it's possible that another dog will motivate her to be less shut down if she feels that there's another dog around. Thank you everybody for sharing this video. I really, really appreciate it. And no, she won't take a treat. She won't even eat her food. She won't take a treat, nothing like that. I'm glad you like this idea. So, and speaking of education education is in the name of our organization, Animal Education and Rescue, and we're huge believers in educating the public about animals. And that is my main mission with the organization, is that we can spin our wheels, keep taking in more and more animals that are, due to, not being, the parents not being spayed or neutered, or people being irresponsible, or neglect or abuse, or whatever. We can keep doing that, and nothing changes except that more animals come in, and they keep coming in. Or we can instead try to educate people and try to get out into the community, both through social media and through in person, and talk about these things, and talk about responsible pet ownership, and talk about spaying and neutering, and talk about what happens when an animal comes in completely shut down like this dog. Education is the key. This is what I need from all of you, though, is to understand and recognize that this is time consuming for me. I'm sitting here on the floor in the office on a Tuesday night, 7:30, doing this educational feed. And I'm doing it because I think it's hugely important, but also know that that's taking my resources away from other things I can do. And so donations to help pay for expenses to do these kind of things, my time is worth money, because of course I'm spending time doing this versus doing all the other things that I could be doing. And just like any teacher gets paid, not that I'm personally getting paid for doing this live, but our organization needs money to continue to do the great work we're doing, and that includes educational programs. Educational programming is hugely important, and it's the one way that we don't get funding. And it's frustrating to me, because in order to prevent future abuse and neglect of animals and overbreeding and all of this, and is through education. So we need to put more effort into education. And how do we do that? Well, we need to have money earmarked, and I need to have time set aside that I can do that in order to continue to help animals and be proactive rather than just reactive. And so I encourage all of you to consider donating money towards our educational programs. We're doing more and more lives that are educational. We do educational programs all the time in schools and at libraries and scout troops and to the general public. And I always do them knowing that we are not getting funding, and so therefore I have to limit the amount that I do, simply because I'm one person, and there's only so far I can spread myself. So everybody, keep that in mind when you're thinking about making donations. Consider making donations to help with our education, and all of the education that we do on social media and in person, you know, throughout Lake County, and actually not even just Lake County, because if we're on social media, we're all over the world. So anyway, that's my little speech about that, and I'm going to keep talking about that because I want to change everyone's view on where donations should go. And it shouldn't, yes, it should go to help the animals in our care, but we need just as much help with our educational programs. And that will help a million and a bazillion animals in the future. And even though we can't see their little faces like we can see this little dog's face, we certainly know that that it's out there, and that they, you know, they're coming up in the future, these animals, and they're all around us, and they're, you know, they need us to be their voice. And this is a way to do it, through education. So that's that. All right, everyone. Let me see if I see any other comments that I can answer before we get off this live. Sue says owners need to microchip. That's absolutely true. And Sue, you're absolutely right too. The donations you make are tax deductible. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and any and all donations towards education is hugely helpful. The more donations that we get towards education, the more I can focus on education. And even if I have to hire someone to do some of the office work that I currently do, or some of the help that I need to have, or whatever, I can do that and spend more time doing education if we had the funding in order to continue doing the education and offer that to people. Okay, and let's see, Tara, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, I hope I am. Tara wants to know, is male or female? And she is a female that I have officially named Maple. Thank you for the person that suggested Maple. I think Maple's a perfect name for her. And she is a German Shepherd mix, maybe with Collie. Hard to say. We'll have to see once her personality starts coming out what happens. But she may have to be out of this crate. You can see she's in a crate right now, but she's shut down in this crate, and I don't, you know, we're going to let her stay in the crate overnight. But then tomorrow, if she stays this way, then we're going to probably have to take the crate down and kind of force her to be a little bit more social. So meanwhile, she's resting, and she's probably loving that it's quiet, because she's no longer at animal control where it is ridiculously loud and deafening there, and stressful. So I'm sure she's decompressing and much more happy about it. Yeah, Vicky says someone is going to get this great dog down the road. Do your magic, Sandy. I will absolutely do my magic. Yes, Caroline, tomorrow will be better. Absolutely. I mean, give it like a week or two, and we're going to see this dog running around the yard with her mouth open, smiling, and her tail, you know, wagging, and we're going to see all of that, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be just awesome. This is the lowest we're going to see her, and it's only going to get better from here. Only better from here. All right. I don't know what time it is because I can't see from down here, but I think it's time for me to wrap it up. Oh, my back hurts because I'm leaning up against a cabinet. Ow. It's 8:05. Yeah. So 8:03. Yep. So anyway, yeah. I guess that's it. No song or dance from you today, huh, honey? No? I guess not. Vicky said, so glad you had room to take her. Yeah, I am too. I'm very glad I took her. She's going to blossom, I know it. I'm going to look forward to seeing how she is in a week from now. It's going to be awesome. Fabulous. So everyone, once again, before I get off, remind everybody to please, please share. Hopefully people will watch this video and share it far and wide, and let's educate people about rescue animals and what happens when a new dog comes in. And if anybody wants more information about our organization, I'll make sure that our website is on the description of the video as well. And you know, of course, if anyone has any questions, you can email me or call, and I'm happy to answer any questions for you. So I will keep these lives coming with Maple so that you can get to see her blossom and grow, and we'll get this done. Okay? All right. Okay, well, good night, everybody. You all have a great, great night. Thank you, as always, for your support, and give all your loved ones hugs tonight, and tell them you appreciate them, and get a good night's sleep. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.